Good evening. My name's Micky. I work at Public House. I'm here just to make a few drinks for you. And start off with one that's quite seasonal in terms of grapes, and it doesn't really matter which grapes you'd like to use, but at the moment at hand I've got red ones, and this one's called a Grape Expectation. We've made a few last year and it's become like more and more popular, so we've been bringing it back, and it's a great clean summer drink. Smuggle about 7 or 8 grapes, thereabouts, depends how big they are. Choice of gin, today I'm going to be using Beefeater, although a good gin to use for this is Hendrick's, which is like a cucumber gin. Really light, works great with the grapes, but it doesn't really matter, whichever gin you've got to hand works just as fine. So I'd say about 35 or 40 of that. And about 12.5 or so elderflower. Depending on the sweetness of the grapes, I'd probably add like a tiny little dash of simple. If they're really nice and ripe and sweet, then obviously you probably wouldn't need to, but these have just got a little bit of a tartness to them. And also, it's a bunch of sweetness. About 15 to 20 of lime, depends on how much the drink might need. That's going to be lovely. And the next drink I'm going to make for you is called a Tommy's Margarita. Obviously named after a gentleman called Tommy, but yes, it's a lovely drink, and I'd say it's available all year round. Really simple, great for people that have problems with sugar, i.e. diabetics, etc. Simply because the difference from a normal margarita is the fact that it's got no sugar in it. Instead we use something called agave nectar, which is honey from the agave plant. I think it's a great compliment to tequila. Anyway, so for this one, I'm going to serve it on the rocks and get the glass nice and cold first. And use a Blanco tequila. You're welcome to use like a Rete, or I love Herradura Blanco, or even if you've got the money, Don Fulano, which are all great tequilas. For the purpose of this, I'm happy to use a Rete. I think it's close to hand. So I'd say probably just over 50, so maybe 60 of Blanco tequila. About 20-25 of lime, obviously depending on how your limes are. And I'd also just grate a tiny little bit of the lime zest in, just so that you get some of the character, like more of the character of the lime without the sort of the obvious bitter sour, the way you want to call it. And obviously agave nectar. I'd go for about 15. Ooh. Salt in a margarita, it's all debatable, but I'm not really a massive fan. If you're not in doubt, you could sort of rim half the glass, and I'm sure that'd be acceptable, but not in a Tommy's yet, I'd rather not. Yeah, this is one of those that I love, like being like real hard shape. I want it to practically be slush, but without being over diluted. So today I've actually got really great ice for it, which is like, I've just got it out, it's dry. You're not going to get very much dilution, but get beverages cold as quick as we can. So yeah, quite a vigorous shape. You really want to get the blend skill. This is one that I personally wouldn't. I prefer not to serve with a straw, just because I prefer it to be sipped and drunk that way. But if you really want them to make it look crispy, just for the purposes of this. And grape is crushed ice. So this is another one you don't really want to over dilute it at all. You can really swizzle it about too much and it will just be too watery. So just literally just gently turn it. And this one I would use straw for. So there you go. The Grape Expectations and Tommy's Margarita from Public House.
Great stuff.
Cool.